Okay. I'm here with a young man named Crazy Shane, and he's agreed to be in the video, or no? You want to be in there since you have a mask on? Yeah, you can come around here. Crazy Shane. Okay, Crazy Shane. Okay, come on in then. Come on in, because it doesn't matter how far we go. All right, Crazy Shane, what would you say the answer is to the question of where the human beings come from?
All right, so basically, we don't really know. The knowledge is not specific, but I think it's from centuries, like, the inheritance from some genes, like, female and male was brought up by some superior being, so that that went over into how humanity was created. There was a superior being that created all of that phenomena.
Okay, so you would say that we were created
Yes.
by a superior being.
Well, basically, there was a specific gene, like there was either a liquid or something that was, smartly considered. The world wanted some more to it just to make sense, so that's what I think happened.
So you would say that the supreme being is a cell?
Yes. But it's actually very much the way it was created was highly special because no one is basically knowledgeable of how, and nobody will ever will know.
So are you saying that the cell that we came from, that cell created itself?
Well, that answer will be unknown until you know.
All right. Good one. The next one is about identity. Who are we, or what are we?
All right, so I think, we are, as we speak, not human. We're just termed as human. There was something, someone had to finalize our mindset to believe in what they brought us to believe. So we are created and we brought up to say, you should call yourself human.
So what would you say we are?
Basically, we are what we don't know. Until there's a specific person when we die to say this was everything that you were supposed to be told when you were what you think you were.
Okay, good answer. We don't really know who we are until later on.
No, because as I stated, we are brought up to say we're human. Is what mankind created in our mindset.
Okay. I got.
You were brought up to say that your name is right.
Yeah.
All right, and you didn't create that name.
No.
Human being did.
Yeah, my parents.
Basically, human being created the name human.
Yeah, I agree with you because it's a scientific term.
Right.
Homo sapien, humans, human beings. Yeah, I agree with you on that. All right, the next one is about meaning. What would you say the purpose for human existence is? Why are we here, or is it all meaningless?
All right, so human existence is basically a special phenomenon where the creator said, you know what? I want to explore my inner abilities. I want to see what I can do with this mindset of mine to create human. I quote that word, to create species on Earth just to see where it can go and where it will stop, So basically, it's like, as I said, we will never know. The knowledge is so superior. It is so special because it is the only thing that we have significant in our brain, and a special part of our brain to say, how were we created? But we live by the day on how we thought we were created.
Okay, so if I'm understanding you correctly, whatever created us to see our potential.
We're created with a lot of curiosity. Everything is curiosity because that's how we species like to outline life. We're curious about every move we make, everything we do in life, a person, a place, I think everything we're curious about. So we're brought up within curiosity, which specifies that we're not specific as to what we are because we're curious about everything.
So we don't know why we're here.
No, we're curious though. So curiosity is what I think the superior being was in his mind or her mind or whatever that is.
Hence my curiosity of asking you these questions, right?
Yeah, definitely. Right.
So what would you say?
When you're curious now, you tend to do stuff just to see if it will work. Right.
Okay. The next one is about moral ethics. What would you say determines what's wrong from what's right? Or is it all up to us?
All right, so pull me back to the previous statement. Nothing is wrong or right. It's how we are brought up to say this is wrong and this is right.
So it's cultural.
Right. It's cultural for who created it. But what if you were born and you said, I don't want to know what is wrong from what is right. I want to create my own term.
You want to create your own morality.
Morality, correct. Just to say, you know what, this is wrong from which is right. Then someone doesn't have a different view from you. So specifically, it is not 99% guaranteed that right from wrong or right is, an agenda towards life.
Okay, so let's say there was no government and everybody decided what was right for them and what was wrong for them. Would you want to live in a society like that?
Well, we are already living in a society when persons make their own decisions because you can convince everyone. So, for instance, the brain tends to calculate higher than an average person brain. So if you think outside of everyone else, you're gonna become a great person. You're not gonna be like everybody else, which means you can convince a portion of the earth to believe in what you say. So you're the higher government.
Okay, so every human being individually is their own government.
Right. Every human is their own government. But guess what? Oh, sorry. We have every human being is their own government. But what we do, we tend to get manipulated from a younger age to say this is government, this is this is that. So you're brought up that way forcefully. You cannot create a difference until maybe when you're young, you're highly smart. So then you will realize that, you know what? I want to take this challenge to see what I am and who I should look up to.
All right, so essentially you're saying that morality is subjective because it's all about what we decide.
Yes, definitely what we decide. Because then again, we live life with a lot of decisions. Don't get it wrong, because guess what? Government is just a term to describe what they call their higher, authority. Correct. So it is not specific. It's just what. All right, a child is coming on the earth tomorrow. 3 years from now, they're 3. What is it? They're gonna hear that you're supposed to worship this not worship, but look up to this government, go to this school, get knowledge just to become a person, and it's all about morality. It's how you're brought up. So all of us is brought up in that specific manner to say you should believe in this. So I think we're all slaves.
I understand what you're saying. Because there's normally 2 ways to go. I'm still looking for the third because as you speak to more people, you'll find that they will say morality is subjective or it's objective. You're on the subjective side of things. I haven't heard anybody say anything other than those 2. So, yeah, I understand what you're saying. The next one is about destiny. What would you say happens when we die? Is there something after or is that the end?
All right, so when we die, good question. Most people want to hear me say this. When we die, you never know.
Okay. Okay. A lot of pleading the fifths here, man. Like, but it's good though. It's good. It's honesty.
If I should contribute my knowledge, though, when you die, it's not the end. As I stated, life brings you knowledge to say, when you die, you vanish, you become a spirit. No one on this earth knows how you were, how it started, and how it's ended. So you cannot tell me that this is how it started and this is how it ends. No, because you don't know how life was started, so you don't know how life ends.
So it would have to be an omniscient being to answer those questions.
Answer those questions. And as I stated, death is something that we are brought up to say. You're like, you basically like you die, so you're no longer among the living. What happened? Maybe you were here trying to prevent death when you should accept it because maybe death is an award.
Yeah, I understand.
You're like created all over again. You'd be like, I can, correct my wrongs and, become who I want to be. But we all avoid death because we are brought up to say you should.
Okay. Cultural again. All right. Last question. What's wrong with the world?
What's wrong with the world? Conviction, manipulating, thought process. All right, so as I said, you cannot convince everyone that's what's wrong with the world. It takes a specific thing to convince everyone. But what they do is to use a lot of phenomena to convince how they wanna. So the world is basically like, I would say unleveled. It's just, you cannot convince everyone. And that's what is wrong with the world. You cannot tell somebody what not to do from what to do.
Okay, so you would say what's wrong with the world is that people are not convinced.
They're convinced the wrong way.
Okay. What is the solution to that problem?
All right, the solution is let people have their inner self to decide and what they want to be. Give them a specific amount of time to say, discover yourself. And I can tell you, a lot of people are going to fail that because they're brought up 50 years taught the same thing. So they need 50 years to recuperate and restart their life to think how they want to. So you cannot tell somebody that after 50 years you should be this person. No, it would never work because they're going to need 50 years to restart.
All right. Those are very interesting answers, man. I never heard those before. But that's why these interviews are good. All right. Here's the cherry on top question. What would you say the gospel is?
The gospel. All right. So some stuff are really confidential to say because gospel is how you define it. Because gospel has so many definitions.
I want to know yours.
All right. My definition as gospel is basically believe. You were brought here temporarily. Because we're not the only thing that dies, right? Right. So basically, you get a portion of time to live and to see why you should live. So basically, you get the time to see how gospel is towards you. Bear in mind, though, you're brought up to say gospel is what you should believe in.
Yeah, so when the Christians say that the gospel is that Christ died for the sins of all those who believe, that when they trust in him for forgiveness and eternal life, they're saved, and when they die, they go to heaven. What would you say is your opinion on that Christian belief?
When you're at school, 1 + 1 is how much? Right. So when Christians say you died to go to heaven, it's convincing you. Think about it.
Okay. Thank you, man. Crazy Shane. All right. And you have a YouTube channel too, right?
Yeah, Crazy Shane and Shane is I want her to do this.
Yes? All right, hold on. That was an interview with Crazy Shane. Make sure you follow him on YouTube. Crazy Shane. You want to spell that for him?
Yes, it is CrazishAne.
Crazy Shane.